This is Trinesha Catrell, and welcome to First Love Yourself, where love, life, and Christ combine. I am so grateful to have you here on this journey of self-discovery and empowerment with me. In today's video, we are going to talk about walk, walk that walk, talk that talk. Just kidding. No, but seriously, walking and resting. But before we get started, if you're new here, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on more uplifting and empowering content like this. So get comfortable because we are about to get into it. Let's go. I know I seem a little like draggy right now, but it's because I got like this, I think it's a sinus headache going straight through the middle of my face. But I wanted to make sure I popped in here because, man, I've been mentally drained lately. Oh my gosh. It's like, spiritual warfare is real and life really life's for real. So in church today, the pastor was reading from Genesis 5 and he was talking about walking with Christ. And as he was preaching, I was focusing and I was listening to the word, and he started to tell the story of Enoch. And Enoch means dedication in Hebrew. And it really made me think about how in life we can be so dedicated to making sure that we look a certain way, talk a certain way, be a certain way, that we forget to rest. We forget that with all of this work that we're doing, that we really need to take a moment and just say, okay, I need to take a beat and just really just be in God's presence. I kept on thinking that being godly, being Christian meant doing all these things that I had to do, like going to Bible study, going to church, just doing all the checklist things. I read the Bible today, check. I went to Bible study today, check. All of the things that you think you're supposed to do in religion. But I don't want to just be religious. I want to have a personal relationship with God. And that does not always look like me doing cookie cutter things that I think are pleasing to God, like Job did. It means that really being about that God life. Like if God tells me to do something, am I really willing to be about it? Am I really willing to step out on faith when it comes to relationships or when it comes to certain things in my life? That is what having a relationship with God really looks like. It doesn't just look like I'm doing things that look appealing to other people. It looks like I'm doing things that look appealing to God. And so as you're walking through this journey, and as I'm walking through this journey, my main focus is try to be more intentional about building a relationship with God than building religion. And so I know some people don't understand. Sorry. It's a little hard to focus because my head is banging right now. Oh my gosh. I'm really feeling it. I guess it's because the temperature is changing outside. And of course, now we're starting to get like some bulbs on some of the trees and all of the things. And so whenever the temperature changes, I start to get a really bad sinus headache now. And so I did take some medicine to try to feel a little better. And, people do and don't feel certain ways about medicine, but that's besides the point. I really want us in this season of our lives to really take a leap of faith. Instead of being afraid of all the things that you think are going to happen in your life, like you're waiting for someone to break your heart, you're waiting for the job to treat you the way the last job did, you're waiting for this person, place, or thing to be the things that you thought would happen in the past. How about you really have hope for those things in this season? How about you take a moment and really think of all the things that God really can accomplish in your life? And the pastor said something earlier today that really stuck out to me. He said that God will walk with you, but when you rededicate or you decide to be Christian, when you decide that you want a relationship with God, you have to walk with God. And that was heavy and deep. I felt that in my soul because I was like, it's so true. Sometimes we say all of these quotes like he's with us always, and God is always with us. But are we really willing to walk with God? Are we really willing to say, okay, God, the world is against me. Nobody understands why I'm doing this or that I'm doing this thing in my life. But if you're with me, you're more than the whole world is against me. It might not look appealing to be positive or to be the type of person who goes after faith, or the person who really believes that God can do these things, or to be the type of person who talks about how good God has been in your life. And you don't always have to talk about all the things that God does to show that you have a relationship with God. You could be kind to others to show that you have a relationship with God. You could have humility to show that you have a relationship with God. And so whenever I'm doing things in this season, I want to be really intentional about taking a leap of faith. I want to be really intentional about having and building a relationship with God, because that's what the most important thing is on this spiritual walk, on this journey. It's not about what looks good to everybody else, because majority does not mean that that's right. That just means everybody agrees on something, even if it's wrong. And you have to be willing. There's this lady that said this yesterday in this sermon. She said, you have to be willing to be different, because your difference is a light that shines amongst everyone else. And in order to do that, sometimes that means being different. And I always felt like being different was a bad thing. And even lately, I've been really feeling like, oh, I'm always so different. Like I can never just fit into everybody's group. I can never just fit in to the crowd or what everybody else is doing. I always sound, look, everything about me is different. And it's a great thing 80% of the times. And then the other 20%, I'm like, who are my people? Because I can't hang out with the young people because they still out and about doing in these streets. I can't hang out with the older people because they don't understand how conflicting it is to really just walk out on faith or to really be focused on God. And you got all of this world, this life to live. You really just feel so uh, I don't know, man. It's difficult because you really try to push to do the right things in life, and it's like you're doing so much right, and it feels like nothing's happening in your life, or it feels like you don't see any movement. But just because you don't see any movement doesn't mean God isn't moving. Sometimes we can get so beside ourselves and thinking that whenever God takes a step, it has to look like the earth shaking, when really God could be taking multiple steps on your behalf and it looks like nothing until it happens, until the big thing happens. The thing that you've been praying for, the thing that you've been thinking, oh, I don't know about this. My big thing is relationships. I've really been struggling with being open, being vulnerable, all of the things in every relationship, not just romantic, every relationship. And so I've really been praying and spending time with God and doing the things that I think that I need to do. I've even surprised myself in some situations and have really stepped out on faith in some instances, but not fully. And so I've really been trying to see what it is that I need to do so that I can get to the next level, so that I can do the things that God wants me to do and to receive the things that God wants me to receive. But in order to do that, it will take a leap of faith. I will have to intentionally be willing to walk with God, not just have Him walk with me. And so in this season, I really ask that you, through this dedication, through all this hard work, this hustle bustle, everything that you're doing, really take a moment to rest and be intentional with your life, because we only have this one. And I hope that you appreciate every single moment, every single breath, everything, every person, place, or thing that is a blessing to your life, and continue to walk in purpose. So thank you so much for watching. I would stay on longer, but my head is killing me, so I gotta go. But thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you taking a moment to listen to this video, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye.